Welcome back to Barkley's Homegrown Geothermal Greenhouse. It's been a little while since we updated it. Passion fruit are growing good. I've pollinated the flowers, and we have a couple fruit starting. So it worked, and there's one up here. So that was sort of fun. So we planted the grow beds to the cover crops. And then what I did is when we were ready to plant some of our plantings, transplant some of our plantings, I mowed it with a weed eater, and then I took a propane torch and I torched where I mowed. Then we covered it with black plastic to try and smother the cover crop that didn't get torched. We left, obviously, in the spaces that divides our polyculture little garden spots. We're pretty happy with how it worked. We're getting some oats that want to regrow, but as far as the broadleafs, the brassicas and some of that, torching it actually worked. And when I mean torch, it didn't flame up with fire because it's awfully humid in here. What we tried to do, I guess, was just destroy the cell structure. And then we transplanted some of the stuff Molly and the girls had, like the tomatoes and the cabbage and some of that. But then we also planted some stuff from seed. And we put pine chips as a mulch. Hopefully that'll help a little bit with our pH. And of course keep the moisture in. We've released some of the worms, so it'll give the worms something to break down. Yeah, so the aquaponics bay we're just using as snow melt or rainwater for the garden right now. It'll be a fall project to get our aquaponics going. I think we're just going to try and get the other part of the greenhouse figured out first. I started thinning some carrots for the first time. They were grown in a polyculture of oats, peas, and then of course you can see the carrots. And there's some weeds. There's like some lamb's quarter right there. We're letting most of them grow. We don't want them to go to seed, and that's why I trimmed the tops of the oats off. They were starting to shoot a seed head. So we're trying to keep the living roots in the ground. You know, we can control the moisture and everything, so that's how we're gonna try it. On the north grow walls, we just had the oats as the cover crop, and then some places where I got a little too close to it with the torch, it did some pretty severe damage. We're growing the tomatoes and some cucumbers on the back side so they can maybe crawl up our trellis so we can get some vertical grow going with them. And we planted a lot of extra plants, so we're gonna have some tomatoes and some peppers and some kale and some stuff to go outside too. Show you the trees. We're about full up of trees. There's only enough room for maybe two more at the other end. On this end is mostly the lemons and limes. We did put the shade cloth on. Dad and I put that up, and that's really helped moderate the temperature in the greenhouse. I suppose we'll have to take it up in November, but before, when the sun would shine, the two main fans on the suction end would turn on 9 o'clock in the morning, and they'd run all day, and we would open all the doors up. Now we open the windows up, and they do not run very often at all. Maybe about 11-12 o'clock they'll kick on for a bit, but that shade cloth has really done a nice job on that. So we have a Tangelo, we have some mandarin orange, a couple Caracara oranges, we have 2 peach trees. We tried to do 2 of everything. Most everything in here is self-pollinating, but they say the crop will twofold if you have another partner. So most everything we have is in 2s. We have 2 clementines. At the very end we have 2 pear trees. And we have some bush limes. We were going to actually make a hedge out of them. We're going to grow these in some pots. They say a 15-gallon pot will maintain a 10-foot tree. So these 4 are going to be potted. But, we're getting some new growth on some, and we're getting some tree loss or leaf loss on some. So it's going to be exciting to see how everything matures. The other day, Molly, or was it Molly, and Haley or Hattie were up. Hattie and Haley were up. No, Hattie and my grandma were up, or my mom were up here, and they seen a bumblebee, not a honeybee, but a bumblebee. We've killed 3 grasshoppers. We have a resident cricket that likes to chirp, which is nice. So the greenhouse is actually coming to life. We have some fungus growing. We have quite a few of these little mushrooms scattered out. So, everything's just starting to find its balance. So we're still having just a lot of fun with it. We've had some moisture outside. We've had some nasty blizzards, which we worked in here. But it's just been a lot of fun, and the family's still enjoying it, and the community's enjoying it. We've had some school classes come out on some field trips. Of course, we had the governor and the first lady out, and we also had our district representative for the state, Jerry Schillinger, down when the governor was here, so that was cool. But yeah, we haven't even started tapping into the potential. It is pretty overwhelming, but a lot of fun, and I'm glad you guys are following along and enjoying it too. So I guess with that, until next time, we'll catch you then. Thank you. Bye.